My biggest thing I've always wanted to do is some type of public service. And
Jacob Teeney was hired by Tigard Police last October. He had to wait just under 2 months to get into the academy.
So that 6 to 8 weeks that I had before was a little bit out of the norm. I was kind of the first person to do that.
At the time, 6 to 8 weeks was considered a long time. Today, that turnaround time from hire to academy is now more than 6 months. March 2023's class is the soonest one with an opening. Here's Tigard Police Commander Jamie McDonald.
We didn't used to have that problem. We could hire somebody, they'd be here doing orientation and some pre-academy work, some initial training for maybe 3 or 4 weeks, and then we would send them off to the academy. But now we have several months to fill.
While he waited, Officer Teeney was among the first in the Tigard Police Department to go through what the department called Phase 0.
So essentially you're doing ride-alongs in uniform with another officer, and you're just basically observing the whole time.
State law says the department must send a new hire to the academy, quote, not later than the 90th day after the date of officer's employment by the law enforcement unit. Although there are exceptions to that rule if there are delays.
So get used to changing it up a little bit.
In the state of Oregon,
Use it how you want to use it.
all city, state, and county law enforcement hires go to one singular academy, a 16-week course at the Department of Public Safety Standards and Training Campus in Salem.
So there's the one wall that we can't really see behind.
So we are limited by the amount of students that we can put into any particular class.
Brian Nelson is the acting director of the state's training academy. Each class is limited to 40 students. Here they learn everything about police work, from how to conduct a traffic stop,
Take 2 steps to your right,
to taking part in drills that mimic real-life scenarios.
and 1 step back.
State funding, though, is keeping more officers from getting through. 16 classes are scheduled every 2 years. A normal year would have a class held in month 1 and 2, then a break in month 3. This would repeat until all 16 classes were held. But to meet the demand, the agency can move around classes to fill in the gaps. They've already moved 3 classes forward to fill some holes.
April would be the first time that we kind of tried to address the need.
One issue there, if you rob Peter to pay Paul, you're left with a larger gap at the end of the 2-year period, known in government speak as a biennium.
Then it becomes a little bit more of a disadvantage because
And the current one ends on June 30th, 2023. The proposed solution? Asking the state for help.
So what we're doing is we're going forward to the legislature to ask for a limitation increase to fund additional classes at the end of the biennium. So basically taking our base 16 up to 18.
So with new hires having to wait 6 months to get in, that also means they have to wait more than a year before they're fully trained and out on the streets alone.
Which for our patrol division is really huge.
Now, this issue of not having enough classes has been a conversation that's been taking place for years. For instance, the last 2 bienniums, they've had to add extra classes. And to that point, the 16 classes that there are currently now offered, that's double what they were offering in 2008, which was 8.